Welcome back, Canonites. We are here once again with another Armory video for a Halo game. With CE, the sandbox was fairly small since it was the first game in the series, but with Halo 2, the sandbox offering has expanded quite a bit, and as such, we'll be returning to the format of having two separate videos, one covering the UNSC's offerings, and one covering the Covenant, plus the Forerunners. In addition, we'll also be covering the weapons and vehicles in Halo 2 Anniversary's multiplayer offering, which adds more than a few extras that were not available and are not available in classic Halo 2. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the Halo 2 UNSC Armory. We start with the BR-55 service rifle from Misria Armory. This bullpup rifle fires 9.5 by 40mm M634 experimental high-powered semi-armor piercing rounds from a 36-round magazine at an effective range of 900 meters. Known by fans for its 3-round burst, the battle rifle canonically has 3 firing modes: single shot, burst fire, and fully automatic. The BR-55 typically comes equipped with a 2x magnification telescopic sight for increased effectiveness at long range. In typical UNSC fashion, the scope can smart link to a user's heads-up display. The BR-55 entered service sometime around 2525 after the success of the prototype XBR-55 and quickly found popularity within the UNSC Marine Corps. Over the years, the BR-55 would overshadow the previously popular M392 DMR in most branches of the UNSC Army being the main holdout. The M6C personal defense weapon system is a Magnum sidearm manufactured by the Misria Armory. It fires 12.7 by 40mm M225 semi-armor piercing high penetration rounds from a detachable box magazine which usually holds 12 rounds, with an effective range of 50 meters. Like many UNSC weapons, special upsized versions are manufactured for use by Spartans, though they use the same ammo and can share magazines. The M6C can be equipped with attachments like a sound suppressor, muzzle brake, or smart-linked scope, but these are not seen in Halo 2. It's also worth noting that while the M6C is far less effective than Halo CE's M6D in terms of gameplay, this does not reflect canon. Halo 2 introduces the SMG as the new starting weapon for Halo, taking the place of the assault rifle. Halo 2 features 2 versions of the M7 in places that may surprise some people. It certainly surprised me. First up, we have the M7 caseless submachine gun produced by Misria Armory, which fires 5 by 23mm M443 caseless full metal jacket rounds. Using caseless ammunition means the weapon is less likely to jam, and UNSC personnel have noted a favorability towards not having to worry about hot casings dropping on their boots. A standard magazine holds up to 60 rounds, and the SMG has an effective range of 50 meters. The weapon features an extendable stock to allow for greater control when being fired. Dual-wielding M7s is possible, but it's generally ineffective unless you're a Spartan. Halo 2 features a second variant of the SMG, the M7 Suppressed or M7S. While this weapon is most famously associated with Halo 3 ODST, the weapon actually first appeared in Halo 2 Vista for PC in 2007 on the map Example, a map meant to show off Halo 2 Vista's map editor. This version only has a suppressor, but like its ODST cousin, it has a tighter spread and decreased recoil. It can also be dual-wielded. The weapon makes a return for the anniversary multiplayer of Halo 2, sporting its SS-M49 sound suppressor and the SLS-V 5B smart-linked scope which first appear in ODST, further increasing the gun's accuracy. It can once again be dual-wielded, though players cannot scope at the weapon when doing so. The assault rifle originally disappeared from Halo 2, but for the anniversary multiplayer it was brought back. We don't know the exact variant used in H2A canonically speaking, but the game reuses the Halo 4 model, which would make it an MA5D. The MA5D individual combat weapon system is a Misria Armory produced assault rifle, as far as we know the latest in the MA5 line of rifles. Though it saw limited service during the Human Covenant War, the MA5D was largely overshadowed by the older MA5B and MA5C models. It fires the same 7.62 by 51mm full metal jacket armor-piercing rounds used by the rest of the MA5 line and features at least 2 sizes of box magazine. One variation holds 32 rounds while another holds 36. With a firing rate of 640 rounds per minute, the weapon is extremely useful at short to mid ranges, especially when used with short controlled bursts. It features the same built-in digital ammo counter of most UNSC rifles, along with a built-in digital compass common in the MA5 line. The main feature that seems to set it apart from earlier MA rifles is the integrated muzzle brake. Misria Armory's Sniper Rifle System 99C Series 2 Anti-Material returns from Halo CE, though it has a slightly different configuration, at least in Classic mode. Whether this original difference was supposed to be a simple model update or have some kind of basis in Canon remains unknown. However, it functions virtually identically, featuring 14.5 by 144mm armor-piercing, fin-stabilized discarded Sabo ammunition fired from a 4-round detachable box magazine. The smart-linked scope features up to 10 times optical zoom, giving the rifle an effective range of over 2,000 meters. Misria Armory's M41 surface-to-surface rocket medium anti-vehicle/assault weapon, aka the Jackhammer, aka the Spanker, once again returns. Its disposable tube assembly allows for two M19 12mm surface-to-surface missiles to be launched before the tubes are replaced, preloaded with new missiles. The variant seen in Halo 2 features a lock-on system that can target turret emplacements and ground and air-based enemy vehicles. The M90 Close Assault Weapon System is a Weapon System Technologies produced pump-action shotgun. Using 8-gauge Magnum ammunition, its dual-tubular, non-detachable magazine can hold up to 12 shells at a time. The weapon's powerful cartridge make it extremely effective against Covenant energy shields, especially in urban environments, and at shredding flood-infected bodies, preventing them from being resurrected by infection forms. The Misria Armory M247 General Purpose Machine Gun is a fully automatic, transportable machine gun that can easily be carried, set up, and operated by a single service member. A scaled-down version of the more widely used M247H, the M247 fires 7.62 by 51mm M118 full metal jacket armor-piercing rounds at 600 rounds per minute at an effective range of 1,100 meters. The M247 GPMG entered service in 25-26 and saw regular use throughout the Human Covenant War. In addition to its mobile use, the M247 can often be found mounted in the troop bay of Pelican dropships, providing suppressive fire for troops embarking or disembarking. The Pelican mounted versions often have an underslung drum magazine with belt feed. Mobile variants can also feature blast shields to protect the gunner. Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer also features the M247H or M247 heavy machine gun, also produced by Misria Armory. The M247H can also be fairly easily carried around, set up and operated from its stand by a single user, and fires larger 12.7mm high-velocity explosive rounds from a drum or box feed. Spartan personnel are strong enough to rip these turrets from their stand and use them as mobile heavy weapons. Our final weapon is the now familiar M9 high-explosive, dual-purpose fragmentation grenade from Misria Armory. There's not much else to say here that hasn't been said at this point. That wraps up the UNSC weapons, bringing us to its vehicle offerings. While Halo CE on PC introduced the Rocket Hog, Halo 2 was where most fans saw the introduction of Warthog variants. Halo 2 Anniversary further diversifies the Warthog offering with the M12 chassis in classic graphics and the M12B in Anniversary mode. First up, we have the familiar M12 Light Reconnaissance Vehicle, or LRV. Produced by AMG Transport Dynamics, this version features a rear-mounted M41 light anti-aircraft gun nicknamed the Vulcan, which fires 12.7 by 99mm armor-penetrating rounds. Formerly introduced in Halo 2, the M12G1 light anti-armor vehicle, commonly called the Gauss Hog, is an AMG-produced variant of the Warthog, which features a rear-mounted M68 asynchronous linear induction motor, aka the Gauss Cannon. This is a type of coil gun or magnetic accelerator cannon, which uses magnetic coils to fire ammunition at speeds approaching Mach 40 at an effective range of 8 kilometers. The default ammunition are 25 by 130mm armor-piercing, limited penetration, frangible rounds, though it can be modified to fire special anvil rounds as well. Anvil rounds are capable of causing an EMP in a target area and doing more damage than a typical munition. These rounds, though, are not featured in Halo 2. Lastly, we have the Hog, a civilian variant of the Warthog. Also manufactured by AMG Transport Dynamics, they partnered with Michelin Vance and Bungie Motorworks for this civilian model. Originally seen in advertisements in Halo 2, the vehicle can be spawned into maps in Halo 2 Anniversary's Forge mode. This luxury vehicle is available at your local AMG dealership starting at 81,000 UEG credits in several variations and styles. Don't miss out! The M12 Force Application Vehicle is a descendant of the Z12 prototype introduced in 2319 and quickly became the UNSC's default utility vehicle for centuries to come. Its 12.0L liquid-cooled, hydrogen-injected ICE engine and ballistic polycarbonate titanium carbon nanotube hull mean it can operate and adapt in almost any environment, and its armament is easily adaptable. Though formally introduced in Halo 3, AMG Transport Dynamics' M274R ultralight all-terrain vehicle, aka the Mongoose, was originally developed for Halo 2. With Halo 2 Anniversary, the Mongoose comes to Halo 2 in two forms. The standard Recon Mongoose ATV is powered by a 1000cc liquid-cooled, mid-engine mounted 4-stroke hydrogen-injected ICE and has a top speed of 59 miles per hour or 95 kilometers per hour. It can hold a driver and a single passenger. The Mongoose's heavy suspension can safely handle up to a metric ton in passengers and cargo, meaning even Mjolnir-clad Spartans can make extensive use of the vehicle. The M274M Gungoose was introduced in Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer as a Mongoose with twin M67 light anti-infantry weapon attachments. Other than the gun attachments though, the Gungoose works just like the standard Mongoose. Halo 2 once again features the M808B main battle tank or Scorpion produced by Chalub's Defense Solutions. The M808 features an M512 90mm smoothbore high-velocity cannon and a coaxial M231 medium machine gun, all of which can be operated by the tank's driver via standard UNSC neural interface. Protected by a ceramic titanium armor, passengers can ride on top of the tank's tread covers. As discussed in the Halo CE Armory video, the M808 has a number of variants in universe, though these are not present in Halo 2 or any of the core Halo titles. Though formally introduced in Halo 3, Halo 2 Anniversary's multiplayer features the AV-14 Attack VTOL, aka the Hornet. Produced by CE Armory, this aircraft is typically armed with twin-linked rotary cannons and two Class II guided munitions launch systems. The Hornet's missiles can lock onto enemy vehicles and weapon emplacements. Though only seen in Halo Wars, the Hornet can also be outfitted with a 20mm GAU-23 AW linkless feed autocannon, which can fire M718 semi-armor piercing, high-explosive incendiary rounds, or GPU-42B armor-piercing incendiary rounds. The Hornet's turbofan/turbojet engines allow it to quickly deploy and land and easily maneuver through the air. Its design is incredibly versatile. Though typically only designed for one pilot, it can be modified with a second passenger seat. The skids can also hold up to 4 passengers in-universe, though only 2 players can ride the skids in-game. Halo 2 once again features the dropship 77 Troop Carrier or Pelican produced by CE Armory. With a crew of up to 3 people including a pilot, co-pilot, and crew chief, the Pelican can carry up to 20 passengers in its default configuration, along with carrying a vehicle, weapon pods, or other battlefield needs. It can also be outfitted with a troop deployment pod for additional troop carrying capacity. By default, the Pelican also usually features a nose-mounted M370 autocannon and troop bay-mounted machine gun to provide suppressive fire. It also has 4 wing-mounted weapon hardpoints. The Pelican line of troop transports was introduced in 2392, with the D-77 model seeing use at least as early as 2531, though older D-75 Pelicans were still in use in the early years of the Human Covenant War. By the end of the war, the D-77 was the most common model in use. The Pelican uses 4 hybrid fusion engines and a gravitic assist generator to fly, and features motion trackers and radar LiDAR detection systems. Though not seen in use during the campaign, Halo 2 introduces another kind of dropship, the Ushuaia Armory's D-96 Troop Carrier Equipment Dropship, aka the Albatross. This is the crashed ship seen in the multiplayer map Relic and its remake, Remnant. This heavy lift dropship is used for long-range material deployment and troop and equipment transport. Typically unarmed, the pilot, crewman, and complement are protected by the ship's heavy armor. It can carry up to 50 passengers and can be remotely operated by a dumb AI. And lastly, we have the GA-TL-1 Interceptor/Strike Fighter, aka the Longsword, the mainstay air fighter for the UNSC, produced by the CE Armory. The craft comes in two primary variations, the C709 model primarily used as an interceptor and bomber, and the C712 model, a smaller, faster variant that primarily operates as an interceptor and attack fighter. There's also a C708 model, though details on it are sparse. The Longsword can be outfitted with a number of weapons, from various rotary cannons to coil guns, to anti-ship missiles to nukes and more. C709 Longswords have 4 crew, pilot, co-pilot, navigator, and systems operator, and C712 have 2, pilot and sensor technician. And that covers the UNSC side of Halo 2's Armory. As always, expect a second video soon diving into the Covenant side of things, as we have a lot of interesting material to cover for Halo 2. Until then, this has been Halo Canon, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and if you really love me, hit that notification bell and leave a thumbs up. These both really help out the channel. I wouldn't be where I am now without your views and support, so once again, thank you. Keep on being awesome, Canonites.